In the 17th century, two more philosophers, Descartes and Locke, both made contributions to psychology. Keep in mind that in the 1600s, the Catholic Church's authority began to diminish, and scientists began to break away from the church and come up with their own ideas about the origin of the world and how things came to be the way that they are. At this time, there was also a spirit of mechanism. Mechanists said that humans operate very much like complex machines. And individuals like Hobbes, Harvey, Descartes, Newton, they tried to describe humans like machines in mechanical terms. Not only were philosophers and scientists thinking about the world in terms of machines, but the general public, was also very much interested in likening things to machines. Why? Because machines and some of the inventions that you use every day were beginning to be invented 1500, 1600, 1700s. Rene Descartes, it's probably a name you've heard before. It's pronounced Descartes. He was a French philosopher and mathematician. He was raised in the church by fairly strict parents. By the time he reached age 18, his curiosity about the world led him to leave the church and begin to study the world from his own perspective. Interestingly, he spent his entire life afraid of retribution from the church. He was afraid that they would try to make him look bad, hurt his reputation, say things about his family members. So he did not publish his work until after his death. He had other people publish his work so that the church could not come after him. Keep in mind, too, that in the 1620s, at about the time that Descartes was active and publishing his work, Galileo Galilei and Sir Isaac Newton were also perfecting their theories. All three of these individuals relied on philosophy, math, and science to develop their ideas. Descartes promoted what we call dualism, this idea that the mind interacts with the body. He's also known for modeling. He did this using numbers. He was a mathematician, so you see he has lots of formulas, and he refers to different parts of the body using letters and numbers instead of phrases. In the 1600s, there were also a few other ideas floating around, starting to take hold. Descartes had a role in popularizing rationalism and nativism. Rationalists said knowledge develops from reason and logic. Plato and Socrates were fans of the more rationalistic approach. Remember, empiricists say knowledge develops from experience. Rationalists believed knowledge comes from thinking about information and learning in that way. Nativists said that some knowledge is actually innate, that all humans are born with some information. Plato was also a supporter of this idea. Descartes had some interesting ideas about the human mind and behaviors. He was wrong about some of these ideas, but he was one of the first individuals to promote these ideas. That is why he ends up in our psychology textbook. Descartes believed that humans have minds and animals do not. He was not talking about the brain. He was talking about the abstract mind, what we call psychology today. Descartes suggested that humans can control their reflexes while animals cannot. And one of his most interesting ideas is the idea of animal spirits. Descartes believed that reflexes work through these animal spirits. And animal spirits are these tiny particles in our blood that send signals from our body to our brain about how we need to respond. So you see in the image here, it's one that's commonly associated with Descartes. In order for the human to understand that the hot fire is hot, these animal spirits have to travel throughout our body to send those signals. His ideas led other people to test those ideas and come up with more accurate ways of representing human psychology. John Locke is another philosopher. He was trained as a physician. In the late 1600s, he disagreed with Descartes' rationalism and instead promoted Bacon's empiricism. He also emphasized the use of the scientific method, and not only the scientific method in a general sense, but experimentation as well. One of John Locke's most long-lasting ideas in the field of psychology is his idea that all humans are born as blank slates, that humans learn what they learn through experience, their environment, their interactions with other people. Locke attempted to describe the structure of the mind. He said that ideas are the basic elements of the mind, and these ideas come from our interaction with our environment, from sensation, perception, and also from reflection, from thinking about the different things that we experience in our environment. He did acknowledge, however, that the fear of pain and the loss of pleasure were two types of knowledge that all humans understand at birth. Locke is also well known for promoting associationist ideas. This perspective suggests that the active mind is operating by forming associations between the things that we're experiencing in our life. The temperature, the lighting, the intensity of the sound, but also in terms of timing. One of the greatest contributions of Locke's work has to do with his educational philosophy. You will recognize some of these ideas because they are ideas that we still adhere to today. Locke believed in the importance of children's physical health and their ability to learn, so he promoted ideas about breakfast, lunch, physical exercise. He also suggested that parents and educators avoid the use of punishment when trying to help children learn. He said that punishment made things worse, not better. And he was a big promoter of using verbal praise to encourage children, reward children, and also motivate them to continue learning. He also contributed some ideas to politics, to our modern view of politics.